This is DMG, and in this video we're going to talk about how you can go down on ultra cheap terrain boards. Hey, where does beard come from? Alrighty, we're going down under, back to the land where I am currently living. So we're going to grab one of our pizza box standard boards, and you're going to take note of the depth of your own boxes. We're going to make some of these with curved edges and some of these with straight edges, just so we can see the difference. Now I'm using this chip box tube thing, and I'm going to just trace a circle around the base. Keep it out of the center there because we have the central piece, and this I'm just going to do a little bit of a cave thing now. Decide how deep you'd sort of like it to go, and then measure the perpendicular to that line all around. Just place a dot and then connect the dots with your texture, and then I create some perpendicular lines to that all around the edges. And then with a craft knife I get into some stabbage and stab my way through to cut out the circle from the chip packet. And don't throw that away. We want to hold on to that. We're going to use these, so don't chuck it away. And the same thing with the crazy weird potato shaped one, which is going to be if it's some sort of pool or subsidence or something. And then along those perpendicular lines we're just going to cut in with the craft knife towards the hole that we have just generated. So now we have two gentle nice holes, and we're going to grab a toilet paper roll, squish it down, and mark off how high off the base you want this to go. So not how high from the top, but how high off the base you want this to go, and hot glue that down to the bottom of the round hole. Of course, you can make whichever holes you like. This can be something for a gun emplacement, or just a small part of a trench or something like that. Once that's in there, hot glue on the top of the toilet paper roll, and then hot glue the piece we cut out on top of that. Then I actually invert the chip package thing into there and trace around the edges with the Sharpie, and then cut off that ring, and then hot glue the base of the ring and stick it down in the hole on top of the ledge we have created. So now we have some nice straight walls for this hole. You just go around the edge with some hot glue to sort of fill it in, but we're going to do more with that just now, so stay on target. Now on the other hole we're going to push in all these little flaps here, so that we're creating a curved or sort of slant base. And then I'm going to put the toilet paper roll in and measure where that height is and cut out that, and then I'm going to use that as a template to create a second one and cut out. Now of course if you create a bigger hole you may need more of these, and then just hot glue the bases and stick them down in the hole. And we're basically doing exactly what we did with the straight hole, and hot glue on the top of those toilet rolls and place the piece we cut out on top of that to create the ledge at the bottom. Now you can take a little extra step here and put some cardstock in to cover up these holes here. We're going to now work on just lining this with this special substance here we call tin foil, or aluminum foil, or aluminium foil, depending on where you are in the world. So grab some of that. We want the dull side, not the shiny side, and we're going to scrunch it up to get some texture. And we're just going to stick it down onto the base of the hole first. Now this does get hot, so use something to spread it out. Don't use your fingers directly because you will get burned. Trust me, we will see later in the video why trust is important in a DMG video. Anyway, trim off excess, and then along the sides we're going to put some more hot glue and just drop down the tin foil. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of a technique around the edges here, where you grab the texture and just quickly run the texture over to squish out the hot glue underneath, and it gives you a nice well glued edge when the glue cures. So that's nice and simple. Now with this round hole with the straight edges. We're just going to tear off some pieces of aluminium foil, hot glue around the edge, drop it in there, use the texture to smooth it out, and continue that right around. This is just really to cover the gap and give it a little bit of texture on the edge, and just continue it right around. So obviously the tin foil does lose some of that texture, so it's not going to be so texturized, but you know, it looks good when it's finished. So then just fold in the tin foil and trim off any excess edges around there. I'm just going to put the final piece in the hole, and texture to rub out the glue and cut off the excess. And now we're going to do a little trick I like to call DMG smearing, where we put the hot glue in there, and if you've got a nice long metal piece where the hot glue comes out, a spout or spigot or whatever you want to call it, you can run it along the inside there, and that will smooth over the aluminium foil without too much problem. Then you can just do this little bit of blending with the hot glue to blend the seams onto the cardboard to make it look more like a natural progression from one to the other. And that's mostly it, except when we have a small little problem, which is if you don't use this sort of cardboard or whatever thing, you might get some little holes around these edges where there was the gap. So before we see that, you can just see this will stack nicely because it doesn't go up very far, so the boxes do stack. No problem whatsoever. However, when we come to the next video, we're going to talk about how you go off the edges, so continuation from one tile to the other. But here's the problem that can occur, is you get these little holes. Simple fix, just grab some masking tape, and away you go, just around the edges of the whole thing, wherever you feel there may be some holes. What's great about masking tape, it will continue the texture through the masking tape. But I suggest you use that cardstock if you are so inclined. Now, you should be careful because you do not want to burn yourself on any kind of hot glue gun. So that's going down on these suckers. If you like this video, like button. You can also check me out on Facebook and Twitter and my new channel 7D System, where I talk about the art, science, and technology of role-playing games. If you're into wargaming, there's going to be more of this, and we're also going to be doing more wilderness stuff on these boards. So we're going to just progress slowly but surely as we've done in previous videos. So if you'd like to support this channel, please check out my website, thedmg.info, where there is a store where you can pick up products from as little as 25 cents. Going, what the hell, DMG, why is it getting so much cheaper? You might as well just go, what the hell, 25 cents? So don't just sit there, get a clicking. Now I know what you're asking yourself. Should I craft one or two of these suckers? Go ahead. Craft all day.